going on? It's Tachi. This is the Culture Lock Rundown. Hit a couple hot topics. Then I'm out of your hair like I was never even there. So let's get right to it. This is something I wanted to report on like an episode ago or so. Lil Wayne had did an interview with Rolling Stone, and apparently the conversation got into talking about Watch the Throne, the Ye and Jay Z's album, and Lil Wayne goes when they ask him about the album, Lil Wayne goes, "What's that? Kanye and Jay Z did an album together." Pretty bizarre. So apparently, Wayne doesn't know that Watch the Throne exists. He never knew it existed. Is he being funny? Is it like a snarky thing? I don't know, because Wayne has said some outlandish things about not knowing what's going on in the world. So he may truly have forgotten that Watch the Thrones was a thing. It's bizarre because he definitely made songs and had bars going at them. So I don't know. This is also the same interview where he stated that he did not know that Kendrick Lamar was the person rapping on Not Like Us. He barely knew it was a diss track until it got to the mentioning Drake parts. So I don't know. Wayne is Wayne. He's working on the Carter 6 though. It has a gang of features on it. I think it's slated for June. So maybe this is a bizarre way to get into the headlines. You know, maybe this is a work. You know, he's you know, he's like, let me get them talking about me. It's working, if that's what you're doing. But more on that as we get closer. Can't wait to see what that sounds like, what the first single's gonna be. But again, more on that later. Moving right along. Wrestlemania was this weekend. Now, I don't really do the wrestling stuff. My good folks over at the NCW podcast, they handle that. But I just had to touch on the Hall of Fame. Triple H was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year for the WWE. And he gets inducted by Shawn Michaels, of course. And he then proceeds to do a speech, as you do at these things. You do your speech, you thank your people, your family, your friends, everyone that helped you along the way. He had a lot of people to thank. He had a lot of stories to tell. The speech ran about 1 hour and 8 minutes. This is probably the longest acceptance speech ever. If he were in Congress, he'd be a great filibuster, because he spoke, then he spoke, then he wrapped it up, and then he spoke some more. Then he wrapped it up again and spoke a little more. It was basically an hour-long story of his life and how he got to where he is today. It was detailed. That's a skill. I couldn't do that. But that was the choice. It's hilarious. You know, there's pictures out of wrestlers in attendance, praying very deeply throughout the speech, as to be expected. But again, I don't do the wrestling. That's my peeps over at NCW. Make sure you check them out. Also, while we're here, I'm hearing things about the WrestleMania main event for night 2. People are upset about the finish. They're saying Triple H ruined WrestleMania. Netflix is going to ruin the WWE. John Cena was going against Cody Rhodes. John Cena won. John Cena is now the bad guy. Cody Rhodes is, of course, the babyface, the good guy. The match was alright. I saw it. But the ending was very bizarre. For some reason, Travis Scott was involved. Now, of course, he has some kind of deal with WWE. They use the songs. He's been in spots. He was at the Elimination Chamber and all that. But he comes down and pretty much disturbs the match. helps Cena go over, which didn't go over with the fans.
Stupid.
By getting the ref up out of there real quick so Cena can do some bad guy stuff. And people just didn't like they didn't like the direction that the match went in, and they didn't like Cody Rhodes playing up the good guy thing a little too hard. Me personally, yeah, it was a little overacted. But I'm 100% sure my buddies at the NCW, they got you covered. And they're going to break down the entire thing. So be on the lookout for that episode sometime this week. Sooner than later, we hope. So we got to get to that. But moving along, the Pope died. I just thought that would be information that you might want to know. That's all I got for that. Now, before I wrap this up, because I am wrapping this up, this is a quick one, guys. I'm wrapping it up with an addition of Yay tweets. Told you I'd do it if you tweeted something interesting. I'm just going to end the episode with a Yay tweet. So today, Yay tweeted this. You can read, and I will elect to not read this one. I don't know what to say. I mean, aside of this, you got to sit and go, okay, this is some deep stuff you're getting off his chest. But, he's saying, him and his cousins, they found some interesting magazines in his mother's stash when they were little. They read through the magazine. They saw some things that they, that they were curious about. And so they explored themselves. And he dropped a nice little song to go with it. This is a lot of information. I mean, hats off to him for sharing it. And no shame. That is what it is. But very interesting. Kanye's in a very interesting space right now. I mean, brother, I know you can afford the therapy. I think you should really look into that. But yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna leave it right there at the tweet. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'm Tachi. It's the Culture Lock Rundown. Lock in. But we out.